Colin of Edgemere, Jack Turner, charming yet notoriously reckless, has always been the royal family's wild card, beloved by tabloids, but a PR nightmare. After a particularly scandalous summer escapade goes viral, the monarchy's image hangs in the balance. Desperate to salvage their son's reputation, Queen Miranda, Lauren Holly, and Chief Royal Advisor Lady Penelope, Marina Sirtis, hire renowned PR powerhouse Deirdre Jennings. But when Deirdre unexpectedly falls ill, the responsibility falls into the hands of her assistant, Mandy Cooper, Taylor Cole, an ambitious but overlooked junior publicist with big ideas and a bigger heart. Thrust into the spotlight and into close quarters with the rebellious prince, Mandy must navigate palace protocol, royal expectations, and the ever-watchful eye of the press. As Mandy works to reshape Colin's public image with charity events, heartfelt interviews, and unexpected moments of vulnerability, she finds herself uncovering a different side of the prince, one that's rarely seen and deeply human. Sparks fly, but with the future of the monarchy at stake, Mandy must choose between protecting her heart and risking it all for love. Can a small-town girl with a PR plan turn a scandal into a royal success story, and maybe, just maybe, become part of the fairy tale herself? Prince William of Valeria, Jack Turner, the dashing yet scandal-prone royal heartthrob, wakes up groggily in a luxury beach villa after a wild summer party. Champagne bottles litter the floor, a flamingo float drifts in the pool, and paparazzi cameras click from beyond the hedges. As he scrolls through his phone, William's smirk fades. Every major tabloid headline screams scandal, wasted royal. Prince William parties while country suffers drought crisis, royal or reckless? Public demands accountability from party prince. His social media is flooded with angry comments and sarcastic memes. Meanwhile, inside Valeria's majestic palace, Queen Sophia, Lauren Holly, elegant and always in control, watches the headlines with a stony expression. She turns to her trusted advisor, Lady Catherine, Marina Sirtis, and says, "It's time we bring in the professionals." Elsewhere, in bustling New York, Deirdre Jennings, one of the top PR consultants in the business, is finishing up a high-profile campaign when her phone rings. The Queen is calling. With a sharp look and a power suit to match, Deirdre boards a royal jet bound for Valeria. Back in Valeria, Prince William is summoned to the palace for a royal dressing down. He's cavalier about it, cracking jokes, sipping an espresso, but the Queen's tone is firm. "One more misstep," she warns, "and it won't just be your image we're trying to save. It'll be the monarchy." As William rolls his eyes, thinking this will all blow over, we cut to a determined Deirdre stepping off the jet with her overstuffed handbag and an assistant trailing behind, Mandy Cooper, Taylor Cole, a bright, observant, slightly under-the-radar young publicist who's been quietly waiting for her moment to shine. Little does she know, her moment is about to arrive. Inside the opulent halls of the Valerian palace, tension crackles like a summer storm. Queen Sophia, Lauren Holly, regal and composed, meets with the royal council as screens display headlines and social media meltdowns. "The public has lost patience," she says, her voice cool but urgent. "We need someone who can shape a new narrative, and fast." Enter Emily Harris, original name from your earlier draft, can be swapped for Deirdre if you prefer consistency, a seasoned PR consultant with a reputation for turning disasters into redemption arcs. Played by a glamorous, sharp-tongued pro, Emily, Lauren Holly or Marina Sirtis, depending on casting choices, is confident and commanding as she strides into the palace briefing room. With a series of clicks, she brings up a presentation, Operation Royal Redemption. She outlines a new strategy: humanize the prince, reconnect with the people, and control the press with carefully crafted appearances. The plan includes charity work, community outreach, heartfelt interviews, and image-softening photo ops. Prince William, however, is not impressed. He lounges at the edge of the meeting with arms crossed and a smirk on his face. Let me guess, puppies, orphans, and fake smiles. Emily narrows her eyes. Only if you want to be replaced by your cousin on the throne. While Emily takes the lead, her assistant Mandy Cooper, Taylor Cole, quietly observes. Mandy is taking notes, organizing logistics, and occasionally offering gentle suggestions, most of which are brushed off or overshadowed by Emily's commanding presence. Later that day, Queen Sophia takes Emily aside. He doesn't respect the process. He'll only respond to someone who sees past the protocol. Emily, already feeling under the weather from what she thinks is jet lag, waves it off. Give me 3 weeks. He'll be waving from a children's hospital with a Labrador in his lap. Back at the guest wing of the palace, Mandy and Emily go over schedules. Mandy notices Emily rubbing her temples and coughing. Are you okay? Mandy asks gently. It's just a cold. I've worked through worse, Emily replies, brushing her off. But Mandy can't shake the feeling that things are about to change, and that her role in this royal operation may be bigger than she ever expected. Emily Harris, Lauren Holly, stylish in a sleek navy suit and heels that click like thunder down the marble corridors, commandeers the palace media room like a general prepping for battle. A whiteboard filled with bullet points reads, "Rebrand, from party prince to people's prince." She speaks fast and sharp, laying out a strict itinerary, a children's hospital visit, a volunteer day at a local animal shelter, an exclusive sit-down interview with a respected journalist, and, most reluctantly, a royal family picnic for charity press. Authenticity, Emily says, tapping the board. We have to make people believe there's a heart beneath the headlines. That's the story we sell. Prince William, Jack Turner, seated across from her with arms folded and a bored expression, mutters, "And what if the product doesn't match the packaging?" Emily doesn't flinch. Then we teach the product how to behave. Mandy Cooper, Taylor Cole, standing off to the side with her notepad, tries not to smile. She notices that while William is sarcastic, he's paying more attention than he lets on. Emily assigns tasks. Mandy is to coordinate all background logistics, press passes, transportation, location setup, photographer approvals. While Emily plays the front-facing strategist, Mandy becomes the quiet engine behind the scenes. At the first public event, a community garden project, Emily tries to micromanage every shot, barking orders at photographers and pushing William to look more sincere. William, clearly annoyed, rebels. He shows up late, forgets names, and flirts with the media. The photos that go viral are not the ones Emily had planned. One shows William awkwardly holding a potted plant upside down. The tabloids are merciless, royal rootless. Prince can't even plant a flower right. Back at the palace, Emily fumes. We are losing control of the story. Mandy, hesitant but brave, steps forward. Maybe we're trying too hard to make him someone he's not. What if we show the real him, but in a better light? Emily waves her off. We don't have time for theory. We need results. But later that night, Emily's cold worsens. She has a coughing fit during a video call with the Queen and nearly collapses. The palace doctor insists she take time off. You've got a respiratory infection, dehydration, and exhaustion. You need rest, immediately. Emily turns to Mandy. You're up. Just stick to the plan. Mandy gulps. The whole campaign? Emily nods with a raspy voice. Don't screw it up. As Emily is wheeled away for treatment at the palace infirmary, Mandy stares at the massive binder of royal PR strategies in her hands, equal parts terrified and exhilarated. The reins of the royal redemption campaign have just changed hands, and Mandy's summer is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Inside her lavish but dimly lit guest suite at the palace, Emily Harris coughs violently, her face pale and eyes glassy. The doctor confirms what they feared. Emily has contracted a bad case of bronchitis, worsened by overwork and stress. She needs complete rest for at least 2 weeks, possibly more. Queen Sophia is concerned, but practical. We cannot delay the campaign, she says firmly. The press will devour him if we go silent. Emily, clutching a warm cup of herbal tea, turns to her assistant. Sarah Collins, Taylor Cole, character's name updated. You know the plan inside and out. You've been in every meeting, taken every note. You can do this. Sarah's eyes widen. Me? I was only supposed to handle logistics and coffee orders. You were never just an assistant, Emily says, with a rare, sincere smile. You're sharp, organized, and you actually like the prince, which is more than I can say for most. Sarah hesitates. She's used to being behind the scenes, invisible in the palace's golden glow. But with Emily sidelined and the royal family watching closely, there's no time to doubt herself. Later that day, Sarah finds herself seated across from Prince William in the palace garden, now in charge. He raises an eyebrow. Let me guess. I'm doing charity yoga next. Sarah smiles nervously. Actually, I was thinking something a little more you. She proposes a more authentic approach, activities that connect with William's interests, like hosting a youth leadership summit, visiting military veterans, given his own brief army stint, and even a charity polo match. Instead of staging fake smiles, she wants him to be real, but responsible. William is surprised. You're not just following the script. I rewrote it, she says quietly, surprising even herself. That night, Sarah stays up late crafting a revised campaign plan, more grounded, more personal, and much more work. But something about it feels right. It's not about crafting a royal illusion anymore. It's about helping William become the man he could be. And she's starting to realize, the man he is under all the headlines might be someone worth knowing. The next morning, as Sarah prepares for her first official solo event, she looks in the mirror, adjusts her blazer, and whispers, "Let's do this." And somewhere in the palace, Prince William, curious and slightly amused, watches her from a balcony and says to himself, maybe this won't be so boring after all. The palace is buzzing. Staff whisper about the unexpected switch, the assistants running things now, while the press speculates about Emily's absence. But Sarah Collins, Taylor Cole, dressed in a crisp blazer and flats, practical, not flashy, walks with purpose through the marble corridors. Her clipboard is full, her schedule is tight, and her confidence, still a work in progress. Her first event is a visit to a local youth center. It's modest but full of potential, much like Sarah herself. Prince William, Jack Turner, slightly late and clearly curious about how his new boss will handle things, arrives in rolled-up sleeves and cautious optimism. To everyone's surprise, especially his own, he finds Sarah surprisingly easy to talk to. Let me guess, he teases. There's a staged photo op with puppies waiting for me inside? Sarah doesn't miss a beat. Nope. Just a few dozen teenagers ready to grill you about why you've never had a real job. William laughs, genuinely. For the first time, the tension between them shifts from stiff professionalism to something more natural. Inside, Sarah watches as William opens up to the kids, sharing stories from his military training and joking about life in the palace. It's clumsy at first, but it's real. And the kids love him. The media, invited quietly by Sarah, snap candid shots, not staged, not forced. The photos trend within hours. The headline reads, "Prince William gets real, a royal steps off his throne." Back at the palace, Sarah pores over social media responses, noting the shift in tone. People are curious again. Interested. There's something endearing about the man behind the headlines. William drops by her office that evening, still in his rolled-up sleeves. "So, today wasn't terrible." She smiles. "I'll take that as high praise." He studies her for a moment. "You don't talk to me like I'm a royal. You don't act like one when you're being yourself." The silence that follows is warm, charged. It's not romantic, yet, but there's a growing spark, something unspoken flickering between them. But Sarah still has a campaign to manage and a boss to impress, from her sickbed. So she returns to her laptop and clipboard, diving deeper into the work. What she doesn't see is William lingering at the door a few moments longer, watching her with new eyes, curious, intrigued, and just a little captivated. Sarah's momentum is building, media outlets are shifting their narrative, the Queen is cautiously impressed, and the youth center visit is being hailed as Prince William's first royal PR win. But as she organizes their next event, a literacy initiative at the National Library, a new tabloid headline throws a wrench in her progress. "Midnight mischief. Prince William caught partying at private club, again." Sarah storms into the prince's private study, brandishing the newspaper like a sword. William, lounging on a leather couch with a protein shake and earbuds in, raises an eyebrow. "Good morning to you too." "Seriously?" she snaps, tossing the headline on the table. "After everything we're building, you thought this was a good idea?" "It was just a birthday party. I was there for one drink," William says, half defensive, half shrugging. "They happened to snap the photo when I was hugging a friend goodbye." Sarah glares. "Well, now it looks like you were doing shots off a baroness's tiara." He smirks. "For the record, no tiaras were harmed." She crosses her arms, her voice softer now, but firm. "You keep saying you want the press to see the real you. But every time we make progress, you sabotage it." The air hangs heavy for a moment. William stands and paces, then says quietly, "Maybe I'm not cut out for this polished prince routine." Sarah watches him, seeing, truly seeing, the tension behind his sarcasm, the pressure beneath the charm. "Why do you keep pushing people away?" she asks gently. He hesitates. "Because if they get too close, they expect things I can't give." "You mean like responsibility?" she says, only half joking. He chuckles, but there's no joy in it. "You don't know what it's like, being told who to be every minute of your life." Sarah nods, her voice softer. "You're right. I don't. But I do know what it's like to be underestimated. To have people see you as just an assistant or a placeholder. I didn't ask for this job, William. But now that I have it, I'm going to do it well. And you're going to help me. Deal?" They lock eyes, an unexpected tension crackling between them. William finally exhales and nods. "Deal." As Sarah leaves, she glances back to find him watching her, something softer in his eyes. For the first time, she realizes, behind the headlines and the cheeky grin is a man quietly struggling to find himself. And she's not just managing his image anymore. She's beginning to care. A warm summer breeze drifts through the palace courtyard as Sarah leads Prince William to their next event location, a local botanical garden hosting a charity fundraiser for environmental education. At first glance, it seems like another polished photo op, but Sarah has something else in mind. This isn't just about shaking hands, she tells him, walking beside him down the garden path. You'll be digging, planting, and yes, wearing gloves that aren't made of imported leather. William rolls his eyes but smiles. You enjoy bossing me around, don't you? Sarah raises a brow. Only when you deserve it. Throughout the day, William works alongside kids and volunteers, helping plant new trees and sharing laughs over muddy hands. It's not glamorous, but it's real. And Sarah notices something different. He's not just playing a role. He's actually enjoying it. At one point, a little boy tugs at William's shirt and asks, "Are you a real prince?" William kneels and grins. Depends. Do real princes get dirt under their fingernails? The boy nods solemnly. Then yes. Sarah watches the exchange from a distance, touched. She jots a quick note on her clipboard but keeps glancing up, not at her checklist, but at him. Later that evening, after the event, they walk through the now empty garden, golden hour casting long shadows over the manicured hedges. William breaks the silence. You know, I always assumed people like you were just ladder climbers. All polish, no heart. Sarah laughs. And I assumed princes were just spoiled charmers with too many cufflinks. And now? She looks at him thoughtfully. Now, I see someone who might actually care more than he lets on. He smiles, soft, unguarded. And I see someone who might be exactly what I need. The moment lingers, longer than either expected. There's a shared awareness now, unspoken but undeniable. They're not just working together anymore. They're learning each other, leaning into a rhythm that feels strangely natural. As they head back to the palace, William playfully nudges her shoulder. You know, I'm starting to like this assistant turned taskmaster. Sarah smirks. Don't get used to it, Your Highness. But he already is. The buzz surrounding Prince William's recent appearances has shifted. People are starting to talk less about scandal and more about sincerity. Still, Sarah knows the momentum is fragile. One misstep, and it could all come crashing down. In a morning strategy meeting, Sarah lays out her bold new plan, a month-long community engagement tour across Valeria's lesser-known towns. From helping rebuild a storm-damaged village to reading to children in underfunded schools, the goal is simple: show that the prince doesn't just care when the cameras are on. William studies the proposal skeptically. Manual labor. Public speaking. Canned soup drives. Are you trying to kill me? Sarah folds her arms. I'm trying to save your image. And maybe, remind people you're more than a headline. There's a pause. Then William sighs, looking at her with a smirk. Fine. But only if you come with me. Her brow arches. All of them? Every single one, he grins. I'm not doing this alone. She tries not to smile. Deal. The tour begins. In a small coastal town, William helps paint a community center. Covered in flecks of bright blue, he laughs alongside volunteers while Sarah organizes lunch donations in the background, stealing glances at him when he's not looking. In a mountain village, He serves meals at a food pantry and surprises everyone by spending an hour simply listening to war veterans share their stories. The sincerity in his eyes is unmistakable, and Sarah is right there, watching him transform day by day. During an impromptu visit to a children's hospital, William gets roped into a puppet show. He fumbles the voice, cracks terrible jokes, and has the kids in stitches. Sarah snaps a photo, later posting it with the caption, "Prince William, or Prince Silly." The post goes viral. One evening, back at their hotel, over takeout containers and scattered notes, William leans back and says softly, "I've never felt more like myself than I have these past few weeks." Sarah looks at him, truly seeing how much he's grown. "That's the version of you the world needs to see." He gazes at her for a long moment. "Funny thing is, I think I needed to see him too." She smiles, then quickly looks down, nervous, warm, flustered. Outside, the stars are out. Inside, something else is starting to shine between them. The community tour is a resounding success. Social media is flooded with candid photos of Prince William laughing with kids, planting trees, and giving heartfelt speeches. But what's getting nearly as much attention? Sarah Collins. Though always in the background, Sarah's quiet presence hasn't gone unnoticed. In photo after photo, she's at William's side, handing him a clipboard, sharing a private smile, laughing at one of his terrible jokes. Soon, the headlines shift, the woman behind the prince's new image, and his smile? Assistant or admirer? Sparks fly between Prince William and PR prodigy. At first, Sarah brushes it off. "Just tabloids doing what they do," she mutters to Emily over the phone. Emily, still recovering but sharp as ever, teases, "Well, you do look awfully happy next to him." Things become harder to ignore when Queen Sophia pays a surprise visit to a veterans' charity gala, one of the final stops on the tour. Sarah, in a modest but elegant navy dress, is coordinating with staff when the Queen arrives. The gala is packed with donors, press, and prominent members of the Valerian aristocracy. William lights up when he sees Sarah across the room. Without thinking, he crosses over, takes her hand, and twirls her onto the dance floor as the string quartet begins to play. The cameras flash. The Queen notices. As they dance, Sarah whispers nervously, "People are watching." William grins. "Let them. I'm not doing anything wrong." She swallows. "No, but we might be doing something real." Across the ballroom, Queen Sophia watches the pair closely. Her smile is polite, but her eyes narrow with recognition, not of scandal, but of possibility. Later, after the event, the Queen summons Sarah for a brief chat. It's formal, cordial, but her words are laced with unmistakable undertones. "You've done wonders for my son's reputation," the Queen says, sipping tea. "But let's remember, appearances are everything in this family." Sarah nods, smiling through the tension. "Of course, Your Majesty." The message is clear: steer the story, but don't become the story. Meanwhile, William's phone lights up with notifications. Summer Prince and Sarah trending worldwide. Is Prince William off the market? From assistant to royal romance? Public curiosity is at a peak. And in the palace halls and gossip columns alike, one question echoes: is this more than just a PR campaign? The whirlwind of media attention has become harder to avoid. Every event, every glance shared between Sarah and William, is captured in an unrelenting spotlight. The constant buzz of phones, cameras, and press conferences begins to wear on Sarah. The weight of the public's curiosity presses on her shoulders, and it's starting to feel more like a burden than a triumph. One quiet evening, after a particularly exhausting charity gala, William invites Sarah to join him for a late-night walk in the palace gardens. The air is cool, and the night sky is dotted with stars, offering a rare moment of peace away from the prying eyes of the world. "I feel like I'm suffocating," Sarah admits softly, breaking the silence. "It's like the entire world is watching me, waiting for me to make a mistake." William glances over, his features softening in the dim light. "I know the feeling." They stop by a stone bench, and he sits down, patting the space beside him. Sarah hesitates before joining him, feeling the vulnerability between them grow with each passing second. "It's hard, isn't it?" she continues, her voice quieter now. "I used to love my job, my life. But now, it's like everything I do is under a microscope." William nods slowly, running a hand through his hair. "I get that. Only, for me, it's been like this my whole life. From the moment I was born, I was told who I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to do. And the world has only ever seen me as a prince, never as a person." Sarah looks at him, seeing the familiar frustration in his eyes. "I don't think I've ever truly understood what that feels like. The pressure to live up to everyone's expectations." He lets out a long breath. "I've spent my whole life trying to please the royal family, to do what they think is best for me. But what about what I want? What about what we want?" Sarah shifts on the bench, her heart racing. She can feel the weight of his words hanging between them. The walls they'd both built around themselves, his, as the prince, and hers, as the assistant, are crumbling. "Do you ever get tired of it?" Sarah asks quietly. William looks at her, a trace of vulnerability crossing his face. "Every day. It's exhausting. Being the perfect prince, sometimes I forget who I am beneath all the expectations." She studies him, taking in the rawness of his admission. "But you're more than just a prince, William. You're more than the headlines. You've got a good heart. I've seen it." His gaze lingers on her, a moment of connection that neither of them expected. "I don't know who I'd be without you right now, Sarah. You've helped me see that. You made me believe I could be something different." Sarah swallows, trying to push down the emotion swelling inside her. "I didn't do anything. You're the one who stepped up. You've shown the world you can change." He reaches for her hand, his touch warm and steady. "Maybe. But I never would have done it without you." The intimacy between them is undeniable now. Their eyes lock, and for the first time, Sarah isn't worried about the cameras, the tabloids, or the royal family. It's just them, two people, finding something real amid the chaos. For a moment, the weight of their worlds fades, leaving behind only the quiet thrum of their hearts in sync. "I never meant to make things complicated," Sarah says softly. "I didn't come here looking for romance." William shakes his head. "Neither did I. But maybe, sometimes the most unexpected things are the ones that change us." They sit in silence, the stars above them twinkling like a promise of something more. For the first time in what feels like forever, neither of them feels alone. Just when Sarah and William begin to settle into a sense of trust and understanding, a bombshell drops. The royal family has been keeping a carefully guarded secret, a financial scandal involving one of Valeria's highest-ranking officials. The leak comes not from the inside, but from an unexpected source, the media. A tabloid report claims that a prominent royal advisor has been involved in illegal dealings, skimming money meant for charity funds. Worse, the article hints that Prince William knew about the corruption and may have turned a blind eye for years. The headline reads, "Prince William's silent complicity, the scandal behind his transformation?" The story spreads like wildfire. For a moment, William is paralyzed, staring at the news on his phone. His blood runs cold as the accusations mount. His phone buzzes constantly. His family, the palace staff, and the royal council are all demanding answers. But what cuts the deepest is seeing Sarah's face when the story breaks. She's sitting across from him at the breakfast table, reading the article, her expression unreadable. "What do you think?" he asks, voice low, a mix of frustration and desperation. Sarah doesn't answer immediately. She puts the phone down, her fingers trembling slightly. "I don't know what to think, William. This could ruin everything we've worked for." And she stops, unsure of how to put the words together. "I thought I knew you. But this is bigger than just the partying. This is about trust." William's chest tightens. "You don't think I would have let this happen, do you?" "I didn't know about it. I swear." "I want to believe you," Sarah says quietly, her voice cracking. "But I don't know what to believe anymore." She stands up, walking toward the door, but before she leaves, she turns to face him, her eyes filled with both pain and resolve. "I need space, William. To think." She leaves before he can respond, the sound of the door closing behind her echoing through the empty room. The fallout, in the days that follow, Sarah's absence feels like a chasm. The public's perception of William shifts once again, and despite his attempts to clarify his involvement, the media is unforgiving. Sarah, normally the steady hand guiding the campaign, is nowhere to be found. It's like the anchor of the entire operation has been yanked out, and William is drifting without direction. He spends the next few days holed up in his suite, dealing with a barrage of meetings with his family, the royal advisors, and his PR team, all while trying to keep his personal life intact. But nothing seems to go right. The press, smelling blood in the water, gets even more aggressive. Meanwhile, Sarah retreats to her small apartment on the outskirts of the city, battling with her own turmoil. Her emotions are a whirlwind: anger, confusion, and a deep sense of betrayal. She can't shake the image of William, vulnerable and honest, admitting that he didn't know about the scandal. But she also can't ignore the fact that his family, the very institution he's a part of, has been hiding such a secret. She feels the weight of her own decision. If she stays, she risks losing her professional integrity. If she leaves, she risks losing the one person who, for better or worse, has started to mean more to her than anyone else. William's plea: one evening, a knock on Sarah's door interrupts her thoughts. When she opens it, standing before her is William, looking disheveled and exhausted. His normally pristine appearance is unkempt, his eyes heavy with both regret and desperation. "I need to talk," he says, his voice urgent. "Please." Sarah hesitates, her heart racing in her chest. "I don't think there's anything left to say, William. I'm not here to ask for your forgiveness," he says softly, stepping inside when she doesn't immediately close the door. I need you to know the truth. The whole truth." They sit down, and William begins to explain everything: how he had no idea about the corruption, how the leak came as a shock to him too, and how his family was pressuring him to sweep it under the rug. "I'm not perfect, Sarah," he admits, his voice thick with emotion. "I've made mistakes. But I never wanted to hurt you. And I never wanted to be part of this mess." The only thing I've ever wanted is to prove that I can be more than just a prince." His words hang in the air, raw and vulnerable. Sarah can see the sincerity in his eyes, and despite her confusion and the pain of everything that's happened, a part of her believes him. "I don't know if I can trust you again," Sarah says, her voice trembling. "But I want to. I really do." The vulnerability between them feels almost tangible now. William takes a deep breath and reaches for her hand. "Then let me prove it to you. Let me show you that I can be the man you believed in." A moment of clarity. The decision isn't easy. Sarah knows it won't be simple. But as she looks into William's eyes, she sees a man who's fighting to be better, not just for the crown, but for her, for them. "I'll give you a chance," she says finally, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "But we do this together. No more secrets." William smiles, a genuine, relieved smile. Together. With the storm of scandal swirling around them, they make a pact, to face it as a team and rebuild the trust that was tested. But will the world believe in their love, or will the shadows of the past be too much to overcome? With their bond strengthened but still fragile, Sarah steps into the eye of the storm. The scandal surrounding William has taken on a life of its own, threatening to dismantle everything they've worked for. Yet, Sarah refuses to let this moment define their relationship, or their futures. As the media frenzy intensifies, Sarah channels her determination into action. She begins to strategically navigate the public narrative, crafting a plan to clear William's name while showcasing his genuine efforts to change. It's no longer just about saving his reputation, it's about showing the world who he truly is, a man of integrity, with the courage to confront his past mistakes. The press conference. The royal family's advisors are on edge. The palace is filled with tense meetings and rushed decisions. They want to spin the story quickly, protect the monarchy, and distance William from the scandal, but Sarah knows this won't be enough. She stands before William in the palace's grand conference room, her posture firm, her mind racing. They're preparing for a crucial press conference, the moment where William will face the media head-on and try to regain control of the narrative. Sarah has convinced him that honesty, not evasion, is their best weapon. "Are you sure about this?" William asks, his voice heavy with doubt. "This is going to be a battle. The media won't let me off the hook so easily." Sarah looks at him, unwavering. "You've got this, William. You're not the man they think you are. And I'll be right there with you. Let's show them the truth." Her confidence lifts his spirits. They walk into the room, surrounded by cameras, reporters, and flashing lights. The tension in the air is palpable, but Sarah stands beside him, her presence a reminder of everything they've fought for. William steps to the podium, his eyes scanning the sea of journalists. The questions come fast and sharp. "Prince William, can you confirm your involvement in the financial scandal involving the royal advisor? Did you turn a blind eye to the corruption for your own benefit?" The barrage of accusations is overwhelming, but Sarah stands quietly beside him, offering her silent support. William takes a deep breath, his hands steady on the microphone. "I'm here today to address the situation honestly. I was not aware of the corruption until it was brought to light. I have always wanted what's best for my country and my people. If I had known, I would have acted immediately to correct the wrongs. But this isn't just about clearing my name. It's about showing that I'm more than the headlines. I've worked hard to change the way I live, to be a better person, not just a prince." The room quiets, the weight of his words hanging in the air. "I owe it to the people of Valeria to be transparent, and I owe it to Sarah Collins, who has stood by me through this difficult time. She's helped me realize the importance of authenticity, and I'm proud to stand beside her." The mention of Sarah's name catches everyone off guard. William's declaration is both personal and vulnerable, showing a side of him the public has never seen before. It's not just the prince speaking, it's William, the man. A turning point. The press conference isn't a magic fix, but it shifts the tone of the media coverage. The headlines begin to change, though there are still some lingering doubts. There's a new sense of curiosity about William's transformation. Some journalists express admiration for his courage in owning his mistakes, while others begin to focus on his newfound relationship with Sarah. However, the royal family isn't fully on board with his public display of honesty. Queen Sophia, though supportive of the campaign, still has reservations. She knows the royal family cannot afford to look weak or vulnerable, and she's worried that William's personal revelations might open the door for further scrutiny. "We need to protect the monarchy's image," Queen Sophia insists, her tone cool and calculated. "This press conference may have bought us time, but it hasn't solved everything. We cannot let this scandal overshadow your future, William." William stands firm, his resolve clear. "I understand the importance of the monarchy, Mother. But my integrity matters more than the image we project. If I'm to lead this country, I need to be authentic, no matter what the press or anyone else thinks." Sarah watches this exchange quietly, a sense of pride swelling within her. William isn't just speaking out for himself, he's speaking for them, his family, his people, and their future together. The strategy. As the media frenzy continues to die down, Sarah works tirelessly behind the scenes to solidify their next move. She partners with the palace PR team, organizing charity events and community outreach programs that highlight William's genuine commitment to change. They plan a series of interviews where William can showcase his involvement in social causes, while also continuing to address the scandal with transparency. One particularly successful event is a fundraising gala that benefits education for underprivileged children in Valeria. William takes the stage, not as a prince trying to save face, but as a man trying to make a tangible difference. His sincerity resonates with the public, and soon, the media starts focusing on his charitable work rather than his past mistakes. Sarah's work behind the scenes doesn't go unnoticed. William begins to rely on her more, trusting her instincts and her ability to navigate the delicate balance of royal expectations and public relations. Their bond grows stronger, both professionally and personally. A test of loyalty, but even as things start to stabilize, Sarah faces her own challenge. The royal family, particularly Queen Sophia, starts to question whether Sarah's influence on William is too much. They're aware of the growing closeness between her and the prince, and the whispers of a romantic involvement start to make their way through the palace halls. One afternoon, as Sarah and William meet to discuss the next charity project, she receives a call from her mentor back in London. The offer is tempting, a prestigious position at a top PR firm, with a much higher salary and more opportunities. It's the kind of career move she's always dreamed of. But it would mean leaving Valeria, and leaving William. "Sarah, are you sure this is what you want?" William asks, sensing the conflict within her. "I know how much you've worked for this career, but I need you here. With me." She looks at him, her heart torn. The professional side of her is excited by the opportunity. But the personal side, the side that has come to care for him deeply, is terrified of losing what they have. "I don't know what I want right now, William," she admits softly. "I'm torn between what's best for my career and what's best for us." His expression softens. "I don't want to hold you back, Sarah. You've always been so driven. But I can't deny, I want you here with me, too. The tension of this moment isn't resolved easily, but it sets the stage for the final challenge they must face, choosing between their ambitions and their love. The royal gala in Valeria is fast approaching, and the pressure is mounting for Prince William. His reputation is on the mend, and his efforts to show a new side of himself have been widely praised. But despite all the progress, one question still lingers: will he be able to hold on to what truly matters? As Sarah works diligently behind the scenes to finalize the details of the upcoming charity event, there's an undeniable tension between her professional obligations and her growing personal feelings for William. She has been offered a new job in London, one that promises career advancement and recognition. It's a dream come true, but it also means leaving Valeria and William. The tipping point: during a high-profile meeting with royal advisors, the subject of Sarah's job offer comes up. It's clear that the palace sees her influence on William as both an asset and a threat. Queen Sophia is particularly concerned, noting that Sarah's growing closeness to William might jeopardize the carefully controlled image they've worked so hard to restore. "William, we must consider what's best for the monarchy," Queen Sophia states, her voice measured but firm. Sarah's position in your life could be seen as too personal. She's not just a PR consultant anymore. She's become too close to you. William, sitting at the head of the table, listens intently. There's a flicker of frustration in his eyes, but he remains composed. He's torn between his royal duties and his desire to protect the woman who has become a constant in his life. "I understand the concerns, Mother," he replies, his voice calm but firm. "But Sarah has done more for me than just fix my public image. She's shown me who I really am. She's not just an assistant or a consultant. She's been my ally, my confidant, and in ways, my anchor." Public defense. The following day, as William steps onto the stage at the royal gala, the air is thick with anticipation. The room is filled with media personnel, politicians, philanthropists, and dignitaries, all waiting to hear the prince's speech about the charity event. But William has something else on his mind. The moment he approaches the podium, the cameras flash, and the reporters begin shouting questions. There's a buzz in the room about Sarah and the increasing rumors of her relationship with the prince. The pressure to address this is undeniable. Taking a deep breath, William looks out at the crowd, his expression resolute. For the first time in a long while, he knows exactly what he needs to say. "Good evening," he begins, his voice clear and steady. "Tonight, we are here to celebrate the work of those who have dedicated themselves to making a difference in our world. But there's something more I need to address. A matter of personal importance." The room quiets, intrigued. "Over the past few months, I've had the privilege of working closely with someone who has challenged me, guided me, and, most importantly, helped me become a better version of myself. That person is Sarah Collins." A murmur runs through the crowd, reporters scribbling notes, cameras zooming in. William pauses, letting the weight of his words sink in. "Sarah has been more than just a consultant or assistant to me. She has been my partner in this journey of self-discovery. She's been there for me when I faltered, and she's shown me a side of myself that I never knew existed. It's not just her professional acumen that I admire, but her strength, her integrity, and her unwavering support." The crowd is silent, and William can feel the tension in the room. But this is his truth, and he's ready to stand by it. "I know there's been a lot of speculation about our relationship, and I want to make one thing perfectly clear. My feelings for Sarah go beyond gratitude or admiration. I care about her. And I want to make it known, in front of all of you, that she has earned my respect and my heart." The room reacts with a mix of surprise, whispers, and flashes from the cameras. The tabloids will have a field day with this, but for William, there's a sense of liberation. He's no longer hiding behind a carefully constructed image. Sarah's reaction, as William's words echo in the grand hall. Sarah watches from the side of the room, her heart racing. She hadn't expected him to address this so publicly, especially not with such candor and vulnerability. The weight of his declaration hits her hard. She's always known that William had feelings for her, but hearing him speak so openly about it, it's a moment that takes her breath away. For a brief moment, their eyes meet across the room, and Sarah can see the sincerity in his gaze. It's as if the whole world has melted away, and the only thing that matters is this unspoken connection between them. After the gala, later that evening, after the gala winds down, Sarah finds herself standing on the balcony overlooking the gardens of the palace. The moonlight casts a soft glow over the courtyard, and the air is cool and refreshing. She's lost in thought, her mind swirling with emotions, pride, confusion, and an overwhelming sense of affection for William. Just then, she hears footsteps behind her. Turning around, she sees William approaching, his expression soft but filled with an earnest determination. "You didn't have to do that," Sarah says, her voice shaking slightly. "I never expected you to defend me so publicly." William steps closer, his eyes warm with sincerity. "I meant every word. I know it's not easy being in the spotlight, but Sarah, I can't keep pretending. What we have is real. And I don't want to lose that." Sarah's heart skips a beat. This is the moment she's been afraid of, but it's also the moment she's been secretly hoping for. "William," she whispers, her voice cracking slightly. "I don't know what this means for us, for the future. But I know that I want to be a part of it. Whatever happens, I want to be with you." William reaches out, taking her hand gently in his. "Then let's face whatever comes together." A new beginning, as they stand there, hand in hand, under the starry night sky, the weight of their journey together feels lighter. They've both chosen to step out of their comfort zones, embracing their feelings for each other despite the challenges. It's a new chapter, one that they will navigate together, no matter what the future holds. The relationship between Prince William and Sarah Collins, once a well-guarded secret, is now the hottest topic in Valeria, and beyond. The royal family's efforts to shape William's public image have taken an unexpected turn, as the world watches his every move with intense scrutiny. The media frenzy is unstoppable, with tabloids, news outlets, and social media flooding the public with rumors, speculations, and sensational headlines. The pressure mounts. It's impossible to walk anywhere in the capital without hearing whispers about the prince and the woman who has captured his heart. Sarah and William's every public appearance, whether at a charity gala, a royal event, or even a simple walk through the palace gardens, is met with a swarm of cameras and reporters. The press has latched onto the story of their unlikely romance, creating a mix of admiration, curiosity, and relentless scrutiny. The headlines, tabloid covers blare headlines like, "Royal Rebel Tames the Prince," "The Woman Who Stole His Heart, Sarah Collins," "The Commoner Who Could Be Queen." Is love enough to save Prince William's reputation? Each headline feels like a weight on Sarah's shoulders, and the constant attention begins to take a toll on her. As much as she's tried to remain focused on her work, the flood of media inquiries and paparazzi makes it harder and harder to keep her composure. The more time she spends with William, the more she finds herself caught in a whirlwind she never anticipated. William's protective side. At a charity event hosted by the royal family, Sarah is approached by an aggressive reporter. The questions become more personal, about her relationship with William, her background, and her role in his public rehabilitation. The reporter's voice sharpens, becoming more invasive with every word. "Is it true that you've been helping Prince William because of the royal connection?" the reporter asks, a smirk on his face. "Or is it something more? Could you be planning to take the throne for yourself?" The question stings, and Sarah feels the weight of the spotlight pressing down on her. Before she can respond, William steps in, his protective instinct kicking in. "That's enough," William says firmly, his voice commanding yet calm. He moves between Sarah and the reporter, offering a reassuring smile to Sarah. "You will not treat her this way. She's here for the cause, not for any personal agenda." The reporter seems taken aback but presses on. "Is that a declaration, Your Highness? You're publicly defending her?" William doesn't hesitate. "I've always been open about the people who matter to me. Sarah is one of those people. I will not tolerate anyone treating her disrespectfully." The crowd murmurs, and cameras flash. As the scene unfolds, Sarah watches William, a mixture of awe and gratitude in her eyes. He's standing up for her, and it's clear that, despite the media circus, he's unwavering in his support. The strain on Sarah, despite William's public defense of her, the strain of the media scrutiny begins to wear on Sarah. She's never been someone who craved the spotlight, and now, it's inescapable. Every move she makes, every word she says, is dissected and magnified. She's torn between her professional commitments and her growing feelings for William. Her decision to stay in Valeria, to support him, has already cost her. Her once promising career in London is on hold, and she feels more uncertain about her future than ever before. A heartfelt conversation, one evening, after a particularly exhausting day filled with media calls and a whirlwind of royal engagements, Sarah retreats to the palace garden, seeking solace in the cool night air. She's not prepared for William to find her there, his expression concerned but gentle. "Sarah," he says, approaching her carefully. "You've been quiet today. Are you okay?" Sarah turns to face him, her eyes weary but clear. "I don't know anymore, William. This isn't what I expected. The attention, the questions, it's all becoming too much. I'm not cut out for this world." William's heart tightens at her words. He's seen the toll the media has taken on her, and he hates that it's causing her distress. "I'm sorry. I never wanted this to hurt you. I thought we could handle it, together. But I didn't realize how overwhelming it would be for you." She shakes her head, a sad smile forming on her lips. "It's not just the attention. It's the pressure. The way people are already speculating about our future. It's all moving so fast. And I'm just trying to figure out if I belong in this life." William steps closer, his voice soft but firm. "You belong with me. No matter what anyone says, or what the tabloids try to stir up. I need you here, Sarah. I don't want to do this without you. But I also understand if you need some time, space, whatever you need to figure this out." Sarah's decision. Sarah stands still for a moment, the weight of his words sinking in. For the first time in a long time, she feels the pull of something real, a connection that transcends the noise of the world around her. She looks up at William, her heart torn between fear and hope. "I don't know if I'm ready for all of this," she admits, her voice trembling slightly. "But I know that I care about you. And I can't walk away now." William smiles, the relief evident in his eyes. "Then let's face it together. We'll take it one step at a time, I promise." They stand there, hand in hand, the quiet night enveloping them. Despite the whirlwind of attention and uncertainty, one thing is clear: their bond is real, and it's strong enough to weather any storm. A public moment of strength. The next day, at a press conference before a charity auction, William and Sarah are once again under the spotlight. But this time, things feel different. Sarah stands confidently beside William, no longer the nervous assistant trying to keep up with the royal whirlwind, but a woman who has found her place beside him. They're a team, united in their commitment to the cause, and to each other. The media continues to press, but this time, their questions feel less invasive, as if the public is finally starting to understand the sincerity of their relationship. The tension is still there, but it's tempered with mutual respect. And though they know the road ahead will still be rocky, they've both decided that they're ready to face it, together. As Sarah continues to navigate the chaos of royal life alongside Prince William, her dedication to the task at hand begins to shine through. She's not just managing the media frenzy, she's actively helping William grow into a more mature and responsible figure, one who is less interested in reckless partying and more focused on his future responsibilities. But it's not just the public that is noticing her efforts. Queen Sophia, who has been watching the developments from a distance, begins to see Sarah in a new light. Queen Sophia's observations. For weeks, the Queen has maintained a careful distance from Sarah. She had initially been skeptical about the commoner who had become so entwined with her son's rehabilitation campaign. After all, this wasn't just about public relations. It was about preserving the legacy of the monarchy and ensuring that William's future as a leader of the country wasn't jeopardized by his wild behavior. However, as time goes on, Queen Sophia begins to see the subtle, yet impactful changes in her son. Where once William had been dismissive of his royal duties, he now shows up on time for meetings, participates actively in charity events, and, perhaps most impressively, has embraced a more disciplined lifestyle. His love for Sarah seems to have been the catalyst for these positive changes, and Queen Sophia can no longer deny that Sarah has played a key role in the transformation. A turning point. One afternoon, the royal family gathers for a private luncheon at the palace. Queen Sophia has invited Sarah to join them, and though Sarah feels a little nervous, still not entirely comfortable in the royal setting, she agrees, understanding the importance of building a good rapport with the Queen. As Sarah enters the lavish dining room, she's greeted with polite smiles from the royal family. William, as always, is by her side, offering her reassurance with a gentle squeeze of her hand. But it's the Queen's gaze that Sarah feels most keenly. She can't quite read the expression on her face, but it's clear that Queen Sophia is assessing her with a keen eye. A quiet conversation. Later in the meal, after the main course has been served and the conversation shifts to lighter topics, Queen Sophia unexpectedly directs her attention to Sarah. "I must admit," Queen Sophia begins, her voice smooth yet carrying an air of authority, "when you first arrived here, I was concerned about your role in all of this. You've made quite an impact on my son's reputation, and I've seen firsthand how you've helped him grow into a man who is more aware of his responsibilities. It's not something I anticipated, but I do appreciate the positive influence you've had." Sarah, taken aback by the Queen's sudden praise, tries to maintain her composure. She hadn't expected this kind of acknowledgement from the Queen, especially after all the challenges she's faced in the royal spotlight. "It's been an honor to help, Your Majesty," Sarah replies, her voice steady but respectful. "I believe in William, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to support him, not just for his public image, but for the person he is becoming." Queen Sophia's lips curve into a small but genuine smile. "I can see that. I've watched the two of you, and it's clear that you have a bond. I would be lying if I said I didn't see how it's changed him. For the better." There's a moment of silence, a rare pause in the Queen's usually commanding presence. Sarah's heart skips a beat. This feels like a turning point, like something she's been working towards for months. She glances at William, who is looking at her with an expression of pride and support. The Queen's blessing. After a few more minutes of quiet conversation, Queen Sophia sets down her glass of wine, her gaze shifting from Sarah to William. "You're a good woman, Sarah Collins," she says, her voice softer now, almost as if she's letting down her guard for the first time. "And you've proven yourself to be more than just a passing influence on my son. If he's happy with you, then that's something I can accept." The weight of her words hits Sarah, and she feels a surge of relief. She's been trying to win over Queen Sophia for so long, and now, it seems like her efforts have paid off. The Queen may not fully embrace the idea of Sarah becoming part of the royal family, but she's at least acknowledging that Sarah is a positive force in William's life. A new relationship with the Queen. From that day forward, Sarah finds herself in a more cordial, even friendly, relationship with Queen Sophia. Their conversations are no longer filled with coldness or skepticism. Instead, Sarah is treated as someone who is trusted, someone who is seen as a true partner to William, not just in managing his public image, but in his personal life as well. The Queen, while still protective of her family's legacy, has come to realize that Sarah's influence on William has been nothing short of transformative. And though the public's fascination with the young couple remains ever present, Sarah no longer feels like an outsider in the royal family. She's earned her place not just in William's heart, but in the royal circle as well. A step forward for Sarah and William. As Sarah and William continue to navigate their relationship in the public eye, this shift in the Queen's perception gives them both a renewed sense of confidence. Sarah feels more secure in her role, no longer battling against the tide of royal expectations. She and William begin to work more closely together, planning future royal engagements and strategizing for his upcoming duties as heir to the throne. And through it all, Sarah feels a deepening sense of connection with William, a bond forged not just through love, but through the shared challenges and triumphs that have brought them closer than ever. The royal family has been under intense scrutiny for months, and the public's fascination with Prince William's transformation has only grown. Sarah Collins, once an unknown assistant, has now become a central figure in the story, with the press clamoring for every detail about her relationship with the prince. Despite the media frenzy, there's been a quiet tension building, as everyone wonders just how far this newfound connection between the prince and the PR consultant will go. For weeks, Sarah and William have danced around the idea of publicly acknowledging their relationship in full. William's public persona as the charming playboy and Sarah's down-to-earth nature have both made them reluctant to put everything on display. But the time has come for William to make a bold statement, not just for the sake of his public image, but because his feelings for Sarah are real, and he's ready to show the world the truth. The Royal Gala. The occasion is the annual Royal Gala, a glittering affair held at the palace, where members of the royal family host world leaders, philanthropists, and the country's elite. The event is always a spectacle, filled with formalities, dazzling gowns, and speeches that highlight the monarchy's importance on the global stage. This year, however, there's a noticeable difference. While Sarah has attended the gala in previous years as part of William's PR team, this time, she's no longer just the assistant. She stands at William's side as his date, an official acknowledgement of their relationship. She's dressed in an elegant gown that complements his tuxedo, and together, they look every bit the royal couple the media has speculated about for months. Despite the glamour of the evening, there's an undercurrent of anticipation. Everyone knows that this will be the moment when William either confirms or denies the rumors surrounding him and Sarah. The speech, after a night of socializing and the usual formal speeches by various dignitaries, the spotlight shifts to Prince William. The crowd quiets as the royal orchestra plays a soft melody, signaling the beginning of his address. William stands at the podium, his usual carefree demeanor replaced by an air of serious resolve. The cameras flash, capturing every angle of the prince as he begins to speak. "Ladies and gentlemen," William begins, his voice calm and steady, yet with a warmth that immediately draws the attention of everyone in the room. "This evening is about celebrating the strength and unity of our nation, but it is also an opportunity for me to address something that has been on my mind for quite some time." There's a slight pause as William looks out into the crowd. He's not just speaking to the dignitaries in the room, but to the millions watching on television and the thousands of journalists in attendance. "You all know that my life has been under the microscope for years," he continues, "and I've made my fair share of mistakes. But through it all, I've learned something incredibly valuable: it's never too late to change. And sometimes, the change you need most comes from an unexpected source." William turns his gaze towards Sarah, who stands a few steps away, nervously glancing between him and the crowd. The room falls into an expectant silence as William's next words hang in the air. "I would not be standing here today, a better version of myself, if not for the guidance and unwavering support of one person, Sarah Collins," William says, his voice filled with genuine affection. "She has been by my side, not only helping me navigate the challenges of my public life but also showing me what it means to be true to oneself. Sarah has not only become a trusted advisor, but a friend, and now, someone who means so much more to me." A heartfelt declaration. The room is electric with anticipation, the guests whispering amongst themselves as William's words take on an even deeper significance. Sarah's heart races, her cheeks flushed with surprise. She hadn't expected him to go this far, to publicly declare his feelings for her in front of an audience this large. "Sarah," William continues, stepping down from the podium and walking toward her, "you've shown me that love isn't about perfection or playing a role. It's about honesty, vulnerability, and support. And in you, I've found all of that and more." The guests are now hushed, hanging on every word. William reaches out, taking Sarah's hand in his, and the connection between them is palpable. The room watches in awe as the prince, who had once been known for his rebellious ways, shows a side of himself that is tender, sincere, and completely genuine. "I don't just want to thank you, Sarah. I want to stand here before all of you, and tell you, and the world, that I love you. You've made me a better man, and I want to spend the rest of my life proving it to you." A collective gasp rises from the crowd, and then the applause begins. It starts slowly, unsure, but quickly builds into a thunderous ovation. Cameras flash from every angle, capturing the moment for history. The media frenzy that once sought to tear them apart is now witnessing the beginning of something new, a love story that is not just a fairy tale, but a real and meaningful connection. Sarah's response. Tears well in Sarah's eyes as she listens to William's declaration, her heart swelling with emotion. This isn't just a declaration of love, it's a promise. And as the applause fades, Sarah knows she has to respond. Taking a deep breath, she steps forward, her hand still in his. "William," she begins, her voice steady despite the emotion she feels. "I never expected any of this. I never thought I'd be standing here with you, in front of all these people, hearing you say those words. But I want you to know, with all my heart, that I love you, too. I always have." The room erupts in cheers once more as the couple shares a private moment, a silent exchange that says everything their words cannot. In this one simple gesture, William has not only proven his commitment to Sarah, but to the world. He is ready to embrace a new chapter in his life, with Sarah by his side. The aftermath. As the evening continues, William and Sarah are flooded with congratulations, but the moment they shared at the podium lingers in everyone's minds. It's clear to the public, the media, and the royal family that this is not just a fleeting romance. This is a real, genuine love, a love that is ready to stand the test of time. William's public declaration has shifted the narrative. No longer the wild prince known for his reckless partying, he's now seen as a man who has matured, who has found something real and enduring in Sarah. And with Sarah by his side, the future of the monarchy feels brighter than ever. The Summer Gala is a much-anticipated event in Valeria, a celebration of the nation's culture, traditions, and achievements. The royal family, the aristocracy, and the country's most influential figures are all in attendance, enjoying the warm evening under the stars. The atmosphere is vibrant, filled with laughter, music, and the clinking of glasses. It's the perfect backdrop for the conclusion of a story that has captivated the nation. As the sun sets, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, Sarah and William stand together on the grand balcony of the palace, looking out over the sprawling gardens below. The gala is in full swing, and the couple is surrounded by well-wishers, but in this moment, it feels like just the two of them. A moment of reflection. The air is warm with the sweet scent of blooming roses, and a soft breeze ruffles Sarah's hair as she stands beside William, his hand resting gently on the small of her back. The sounds of the gala, laughter, music, the hum of conversation, fade into the background as they share a rare moment of quiet. "I can't believe how far we've come," Sarah says softly, her voice barely above a whisper. From the chaotic PR campaign, the press, the scandals, and now, here we are. William smiles, his eyes warm as he looks at her. "I never would have gotten here without you, Sarah. You turned everything around for me, not just my public image, but my life. You've made me see things differently. I can't thank you enough for that." Sarah's gaze softens, touched by his words. She had never expected to fall for him, least of all in such a public and complicated way. Yet, as they stand there, amidst the festivities, she knows that this is real. The challenges they've faced together have only brought them closer, and she feels more certain than ever that their love is something worth fighting for. "I just did my job," she says, but there's a tenderness in her tone. "And it wasn't just about fixing your reputation. It was about helping you see the person you could be, and that's the man I've fallen in love with." A public declaration of love. The sound of clapping catches their attention, and they turn to see the guests on the balcony giving them a standing ovation. The royal family, the dignitaries, and even the commoners who've gathered below all look up at them with admiration. The applause is a sign of their approval, not just for William's transformation, but for the couple they've become. At that moment, William turns to face Sarah fully, his expression serious yet filled with affection. The crowd's cheers are drowned out by the sound of his heartbeat, his focus entirely on her. "Sarah, you've shown me what it means to love without pretension," he begins, his voice strong but full of emotion. "When I was lost, you helped me find my way, not just as a prince, but as a man. And I stand here tonight, not just as the heir to the throne, but as the man who loves you deeply, with all my heart." The crowd quiets, hanging on every word. Sarah's heart races as she realizes what William is about to do. "I'm not perfect," he continues, his gaze never leaving hers. "But I promise, I will spend every day for the rest of my life proving my love to you. I know now that I don't need to change who I am to be with you. I just need to be the best version of myself. For you. For us." The proposal, the moment is electric with anticipation. Sarah feels a lump in her throat as she stares at him, knowing that this is the culmination of everything they've been through. And then, to her complete surprise, William drops to one knee. The gasps and whispers of the crowd echo around them as he holds out a simple yet elegant ring, a symbol of the future he wants to build with her. "Sarah Collins," he says, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment, "will you marry me? Will you be my partner, not just in the public eye, but in life? Will you be my queen?" Tears fill Sarah's eyes as she looks at him, her heart swelling with joy. All the doubts, all the insecurities, melt away in this instant. She knows, without a doubt, that she loves him with everything she has. "Yes," she whispers, her voice trembling with emotion. "Yes, I will marry you." The crowd erupts in applause once more, louder than ever, as William rises to embrace her. Their kiss is filled with passion, their love sealed in that moment for all to see. The cheers and claps from the guests blend with the sounds of the orchestra playing in the background, creating a symphony of celebration. As the night draws to a close, Sarah and William walk hand in hand through the garden, their hearts full of promise for the future. The stars above twinkle brightly, and the palace lights shimmer like a dream. It's a perfect end to a perfect evening, one that marks not just the beginning of their engagement, but the beginning of their journey together. Never could have imagined without her by his side. Their journey ahead may have its challenges, but together, they know they can face anything. The camera pulls back, showing the two of them walking away from the palace, hand in hand, as the fireworks explode above, marking not just the end of the gala, but the beginning of their future. The story concludes with Sarah and William, once two people from completely different worlds, finding common ground in their love for each other. Together, they've overcome the pressures of the public eye, their own doubts, and the scrutiny of the royal family. What started as a campaign to repair William's reputation has blossomed into something far more meaningful, a love that is sincere, lasting, and built on mutual respect. Their journey is just beginning, and as they move forward into their future, there is no doubt that their love story will continue to inspire the people of Valeria and beyond.
The Stories book is a captivating collection of tales that traverse diverse genres and emotions, spanning the realms of fantasy, science fiction, romance, and mystery. Each narrative is a journey into the unexpected, weaving intricate plots and compelling characters. With a skillful blend of vivid imagery and thought-provoking themes, this anthology invites readers to explore the depths of imagination and discover the universal threads that connect us all. From heartwarming moments to spine. We hope you enjoyed these captivating video stories. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content like this. Thanks for watching, and keep spreading the video story.